Hey everyone, it's Jack, and I'm back with another casual ranking video for y'all. It is a deeply unserious one that I just want to tackle because I love talking about the Drag Race songs, and today we are going to be talking about the worst Drag Race verses on the show. And I'm going to rank them from the least to most offensive to listen to. It makes for really interesting commentary, which you'll see later on. Make sure you like, hype is a new thing, so hype the video, and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 150k by the end of 2026. Follow all my social media, and let's hop into the list. So here we are with the list. As always, I will go through each of the tiers, explain them, and then we'll get into the actual ranking. At the very top, we have actually okay. I feel like this tier is often true for the early verses of the show. Maybe at the time they seemed a lot worse than they actually were. And as we go on and hear a lot of the other bad verses, the early ones don't seem nearly as bad. Or maybe the lyrics themselves are good, but the performance was really bad. There's a couple on here that really apply to that. Generic Boots, it's a verse where, you can kind of copy and paste it for almost anyone and it will work. Talking about things like snatching the crown, having a tiny waist, being the best. While on paper, or if you haven't heard a lot of other Drag Race verses, it's fine. Comparing it to basically any of the good verses, it does not stack up. Let's pause and debrief. It's not one that is horrible, but it's one that I need to pause and we need to discuss, like, was that as bad as we really just watched? Fast forward, please. It's truly getting really hard to watch, and I'd rather just skip the verse to a better verse than have to actually sit through it. Visceral reaction is the one where you are genuinely looking away or can't go back to watch the verse because it is just that crazy. And finally, the currently talking about tier, just the place where I put each entry, so it's easier for people to skip around the video if they really want to. And with that, let's hop into the list, starting with GotMick's Congratulations verse.
GotMick was born a girl, baby. Was told that I can't do drag.
Here's the thing about GotMick's verse that I do really like. The sentiment where she's talking about her journey as transitioning from female to male, but then still doing female impersonation drag and having something to prove. That's all really cool and it's a great introduction. The issue is that it's 4 lines. It is just 4 lines long.
Knew I had something to prove. Now you're gonna lose.
And when you compare it to the other very notoriously bad verse of this song in Tina Burner's, and just how much Tina fit into her verse, Mix just has a lot of empty space. That is personally really distracting to me. Also, coming off of her Lucky verse, which is one of the best verses of the show, coming back to this, it didn't seem like she had much idea of what really to do. And while I could put it in Generic Boots, I think I'm actually going to put it in actually okay, because it is still personal enough to her, even though it is so short. Up next, we have Tina Burner.
Tina Burner on fire like the Hunger Games. Too hot to handle, getting burned by these flames.
Manhattan monster with a heart of gold. This Joker's wild, these queens better fold.
Death drop slits, maybe some girl's choice. Stand up, act up, time to use your voice.
The truth hurts, but I'll tell it to your face, and I'll smile real big, waving from first
Play.
So... What we also saw on All Stars 10 with Tina's verse is that in her songs, she loves to fill in as many syllables as possible. It's almost a talent the way she says, Danny DeVito, I love your work, in that short amount of time.
All that aside, I'm still a fan. Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Or here when she's saying, Manhattan monster with a heart of gold, this Joker's wild, these queens better fold. There's just a lot of whiplash in the lyrics because it's talking about how great she is. And then she's like, oh, stand up, act up, time to use your voice. It's a very random line to just throw in and then go back to saying how awesome she is. And coming at the end of the song with a lot of the other people doing relatively normal verses, it's just another form of whiplash that makes me want to pause and debrief with the people I'm watching with. Ambitious is what I'll say. It's ambitious, but it doesn't really pan out super well. The last season 13 verse that I do want to talk about is Kahmora Hall's.
From the House of Hall, Chicago's Mackie doll.
Serving beads and face, I'm the most glamorous in this race.
The way my beauty shines, Kahmora's gonna blind that man, snatch the crown out.
So what makes this one super memorable is the From the House of Hall. That's honestly a really great memorable opening that I don't even know if she was really going for. And I think this is one of those earlier verses that people turn to as a really bad one, but to be honest, it's completely fine. Just talking about how glamorous she is and how she's gonna snatch the crown, something that we hear a lot in Drag Race verses. And comparing to the rest of the list, it's fine, just Generic Boots. All right, we have a newer one with Alyssa Edwards verse from the Everybody Say Love K-pop mix. Love. Hold up, wait, let me add my 2. Do what you love and love what you do. Drag is fun, so don't drag your dream. Lead with love and slay the scene. So I remember when this verse came out, people were talking about how Alyssa was robbed on All Stars 2 and eliminated in a spot where Roxxxy probably should have gone home when it came to like showing what you still had to prove compared to like, you know, people who were struggling at that point. And after seeing her first verse on Global, and honestly her second verse just reusing the same thing that she does all the time and Shannel has done too, I don't think we were really missing that much. Is that really bad to say? It's safe to say that she isn't the strongest lyricist that we have from Drag Race. I will say with this challenge, I don't think the cards were in favor of most of the queens. I just think the production wasn't great. But the flow that Alyssa chooses to go with on this is so strange. It feels like an alien studied K-pop for a day and then tried to recreate it and fit in. Not to mention the lyrics are devoid of any Alyssa Edwards charm there could be. I do catch myself saying, hold up, wait, let me add my two a lot though. I think it has to go in one of these two tiers because it is so generic. But the thing is, because it's Alyssa Edwards and we had waited so long and then we got that, a lot of people were debriefing online, so I'll put it in here. Next, we have Jan from All Stars 6. Jan's got something to say.
Everybody jokes I'm so nice, but I love me, so I don't think twice.
I'm real, that's how I feel. My positive outlook you just can't steal.
I'm peppy, that's my energy. Once and all the time, that's how I be.
So get out of my head and shake my junk. You know what Mama Ru said.
Bring my phone.
There's actually a lot of context that is needed for how this verse came together. First up, Show Up Queen is a song about like you being a queen that's for action in a way, like how are you yourself and your character showing up for the greater good, I guess? What in your character is positively affecting other people and how have you like yourself grown? So for Jan, herself growing, she definitely hit that mark for this challenge, but I don't really think she turns outwardly at all. It's just all about her. But the way that her judging was going on this season, the way she wrote her verse, she was really dwelling on like the inner stuff because they were kind of ping-ponging back and forth on what they liked about her. For most of the episodes, they would say things like, oh, it's a little too much, or you need to dial it back, don't be always at 100. But in other episodes, they would say they love her funk, or like, you know, go to 100 because you're playing a character. She was just getting mixed messages, and it ends up with this verse where she's like, oh, I love me, I like being at 100, I'm peppy, peppy, peppy. Ultimately though, it doesn't fit into what is really asked for of the song. And like with so much else of what they were critiquing, her energy here was definitely at 100, which led to some very intense line deliveries. For the most part, after Jan and the next queen who we have up, Pandora's verses, the rest of Show Up Queen is good. But with these two starting out the song, it definitely just makes me want to fast forward. Pandora is the opposite of Jan, where she actually hits the mark on what was asked out of the verses and stuff. The issue is the last third of her verse is just laughing, and she was trying to do like something similar to her talent show. But for a song like this, it just really didn't hit the mark at all.
They call you
a freak.
I'm thinking that.
You're meek.
Stand with me, and be proud.
Time to shine and get la 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 loud. Laugh with me, and they'll see you the queen they wanna be. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha, bitch. There is a lot of dead space in this verse. It reminds me of Mick's verse in a lot of ways, where I just don't feel like she had a lot of lyrics, so she just decided to pause, or just chose to go with a really awkward flow. The flow could have maybe worked if she went for a more comedic verse, but this was relatively sincere and then ended on her laughing to try and be funny. Unfortunately, no one was really laughing with her. I could see some people putting it down in visceral reaction, but I'm not there yet with this verse, so I'll put in a fast forward please right next to Jan. Bosco's catwalk verse is an interesting one because it's another one of the early-ish verses where I don't think it's nearly as bad as people really remember.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I did show some skin. Don't fight, shh, give in.
You can call me greedy. I feel that the whole world, I need that.
So ass out and horns up, ass out and horns up. The only issues that I can still see with this verse is that she sounds strange on it. Very, very strange. And I don't think that was on her. She tried to kind of sing in this song and it made her sound like she had a frog in her throat, which is not what Bosco normally sounds like. So while distracting and the lyrics aren't my favorite of all time, it's not bad. So I'm gonna put it up in actually okay. Up next, we have BeBe's Jungle Kitty verse.
Yeah, I'm Pussy Beach.
Ooh la 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 la, c'est bon, c'est bon.
You can take my snatch.
Drag it up, wild it up.
Give me more, bring it to the ball.
BeBe's verse, I think, definitely deserves to be in the top tier. I wasn't even sure if I should include it on this list, but I feel like if I didn't, people would be asking where it was. It's just so off base from any Drag Race verse that we've ever heard that I think some people really don't vibe with it. However, for me, I love this verse. I think it's genius. They were asked to play a character, and from what we saw on BeBe this season, she was trying to be this really regal figure, very reserved. So when she came out with this character, it was something that we definitely knew she had the potential to do, but we hadn't seen it yet on All Stars 3. So when she did come out really energetic, it didn't really matter what lyrics she was saying, and the lyrics are outrageous, but I think that only really adds to the enjoyment of the verse. So it's going at the top tier. If there was a higher tier, which I could do, but like it would mess up like the look of the video, I would put it there. So yeah, very top. I love this verse so much. BeBe's Kitty Girl verse though is just
Mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm the fiercest of them all.
face, 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 body and all, another day, another sleigh.
Meow, meow, savage beauty stepping out on a mission.
Get fierce, stay ready, the OG's back for another crown. There's nothing too bad about this verse, and it's another one that I only included because I feel like some people would be asking where it was. To me, it's just funny how in the second half of the verse, it just drops off from trying to rhyme at all. Like at first we had wall, all, and then all again, and then an internal rhyme of another day, another sleigh, and then there's no more rhyming after that. I really do vibe with her delivery on this verse though. Like I was saying earlier, she was trying to be very regal on the season, and I feel like that really came out here. So she made the verse her own, even if the lyrics are relatively generic outside of that last line, but I don't think it's enough to save it from generic boots. Speaking of OGs, we have the OG horrible verse. I'm so sorry, Darien. Keep your shoes on, honey, to make that money, cause your toenail dragging and it sure ain't funny. This was on Oh No She Better Don't. It wasn't really a diss track, it was more so supposed to just be a bitch track, but Darien tried to make it more so a diss track, I guess, with this verse. I can't decide. Big girl while you all in bare feet walking down the dirty city street. It's because she calls herself the big girl, but I don't think she would be talking about herself in this way. Is it supposed to be inspiring? Like, you big, I'm also a big girl, so you big girl, why are you like, keep your shoes on, honey, to make that money. I think she's giving okay, I got it. She's giving advice to another big girl on the dirty city street saying, keep your shoes on, honey, and make that money, because right now you look a mess, which has nothing to do with what they were doing in that song. What was happening here? Not to mention that her in the video is not great, and her in the recording was really struggling. This was just not Darien's challenge, and that sucks because I really do like her. And her verse on All Stars 8 wasn't bad by any means. Anytime someone brings this up, it does give me a visceral reaction. Not in a horrible sense, but like I just have to have a burst of emotions anytime that this really comes out. Okay, we're back. I had to pause yesterday because there's a heat wave going through California and our AC was broken, so with these lights I was not doing good. Coming back to Darien's verse for just 1 second, I did talk to one of my friends, Nirupam, and their interpretation is that Darien is also talking to other big girl hookers on the street, saying to get their act together if they want to make any money, which again has nothing to do with Oh No She Better Don't or what they were asked to do. So yeah, the craziest part is that she wasn't even in the bottom for this verse. Anyways, we are moving on to I'm in Love. First up, we have Ongina's. Actually, hold on, let me switch the two because Ongina's definitely has more to talk about. I'm in Love with Justin Timberlake.
He's bringing sexy back. I follow in his tracks. I sent that Britney back, cause I feel very attacked.
I'll give him all my love, my hugs, my kisses. He's my drug, cause I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with him. The thing that sets this verse apart as one of the worst to me is the delivery and just the jumbled references that she was trying to do that I think was a little too ambitious for what the song asked. It was supposed to be just a really dumb, lighthearted song about like loving a celebrity, and in general, it's a strange challenge to do, honestly. Her choosing Justin Timberlake, that's fine. Making reference to sexy back, yeah, that makes sense. I sent that Britney back. Justin and Britney did date, and also India says that she sent that Britney back. When she didn't eliminate Derek, she lost the lip sync. Like, she chose to send Derek home if she won, but she didn't send that Britney back. The group did, so that also really doesn't make sense. And then her whispering, 'cause I feel very attacked. Really weird delivery, and again, it's not her reference, so it was just a mess. So it's ambitious, and no one really remembers this verse at all. So I'll put it in let's pause and debrief, because there's references that she made that could have worked maybe, but not in a song of this form. And then we come back to Ongina.
Henry Cavill, he's my Superman, and we flying, flying.
And when we touch down, I'll be riding, riding.
It makes me weak with those blue eyes like kryptonite between my thighs.
Honestly, as lyrics go, this isn't bad at all. What people remember this verse for is how sick she was in it and how much autotune that they had to use. All Stars 5 did not have a good portrayal of Ongina, and she wasn't really helping matters in that. In episode 1, her talent show was alright, she was definitely safe for it. Miss Cracker though decided that she wasn't, and she wished she could have voted for her. And after that, Ongina got in her head, and the editors went with that, basically burying her in it. So from here, we only really saw her struggling at every other point, and it doesn't help that she was sick and couldn't even record the verse. On season 18, we saw something similar with Nene losing her voice, and she had to do this weird whisper delivery on it. So it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because I don't think either deliveries really sound good. It's not either of their faults, but when we have to go back and watch it, it does just make me cringe a little bit, especially as such a big fan of Ongina. The writing is cute enough. I like the kryptonite line, but you know, nothing major to talk about. Just when it comes to her portrayal and how unfortunate everything was, I do want to fast forward through it. Okay, we made it to the major, the first ever bad verse of the show.
I'm Roxxxy Andrews, and I'm here to make it clear. I know you love me, baby. That's why you brought me here.
Was the bitch on season 5. I'm gonna make it right. Give me a sewing challenge and I'll give you what you like. I'm full of tricks, baby, just like on Halloween.
A room full of monsters, and it makes me want to scream. I have to get us right, so you don't waste your time. Not like my comedy, I'm killing on this rhyme.
I'm gonna show you what I can do. You're going crazy and seeing too.
It's not my fault. You can't blame my game. All these other hoes, but they're all the same.
I'm out of breath. Is this one of those verses that is better now than it was when it first came out and it was the only really thing that we had to turn to? I would say yes, but it's still pretty bad. I'm Roxxxy Andrews, and I'm here to make it clear is such a notable line, and people still talk about it. Most of this verse people still talk about for kind of all the wrong reasons. When it comes to the actual lyrics and lyricism, for the most part, it's fine, especially for the first ever song of this form. She had pretty good reference here. She talked about being on season 5 and making it right, trying not to be the villain this time around, how great she is at sewing challenges, even though they didn't have any on All Stars 2. And then it goes a little off the rails, but this is one of the longest verses they've ever had to do in the show, so they had to fill up a lot of time. I'm full of tricks, baby, just like on Halloween. Cute line. A room full of monsters, and it makes you want to scream. It still makes sense with, I guess, the Halloween bit and, you know, calling the girls Gila monsters and all that. And then the next two lines, it's very much like Detox, where it's like, I ain't saying I'm the best, but I ain't the worst. I'm determined to get this right, so I don't waste your time. And then, not like my comedy, I'm killing on this rhyme because she was notoriously not good at comedy this season. And there's just always something about songs that try to predict how good it's going. That's just always such a big gamble. It's like when a pop star says this song is a hit before it even has any time to chart. If they're wrong about it, it makes the line even funnier, and unfortunately I think Roxxxy was a little wrong here. And then we get to the most infamous part with the weird muffled voice effect that was on her voice. I think we were just supposed to get into the fantasy of her, and it's more just like generic lines of like, oh, I'm great. But again, for the first song, it's fine. The way she whisper sings on it, to quote Katya, it's just a little sonically rough. It's just so tough because I love this verse even if it isn't great. I guess I have to look, if like it came out today, what would I think of it? I think I would put it in fast forward because it is just such a long verse and a really good song, and it ends just not that great. Okay, so we are hopping international. If you were doing an international verse, you know it's on here for a good reason, and we have one from Down Under season 1, one of the worst seasons ever. We kind of all know that. Even if you are new to the fandom, I feel like there's always little rumors that people talk about, like, oh, we don't talk about season 1. This verse is from a queen named Karen from Finance. It's a great drag name, and I think that carried her through the competition, just name alone. They had 2 songwriting challenges this season. The first actually went okay, but Karen definitely had the weakest verse there too. She is just not a recording artist or a lyricist, we'll say. If you've never heard this verse, it's nothing like we have talked about on this list.
Hello, gorgeous. Wow, don't you look stunning. You know, we've been through a lot together, us girls and I.
You can call us sisters, but in my world, we're colleagues, stars.
A team destined for the biggest promotion of our lives. And we've already won, baby!
Her goal with this verse was to, I would say, be more of a speech, or I forgot what she was going for, because it just doesn't work and I tried to block it out. This is the same song where we get Art Simone's verse, which is a really great verse. Like I've said before on this list, the sentiment is really sweet. Like, you know, they're on the biggest stage in the world for drag and they're getting the promotion because now they're Rue girls. But mama, this is not the time to give a speech. This is time to say, I'm gonna snatch the crown and I'm gonna win the game. Even if this happened today, so many girl groups down the line, I still don't think I would like it because this is just nothing. And it's really tragic to see her go out on this performance. Like, this is the last thing that she really wanted to do. And I just don't think this was the best way to go out on the season, but her goal was to give this speech type of thing. So if this worked for her, that's great. It doesn't work for me. And I'm gonna put in a visceral reaction because still to this day, I am gagged by how this turned out. Okay, we have another one. Oh, from Canada season 2, Kendall Gender's verse.
When you left me, I was sad and blue. Oh honey, time to make it new. Your new lover is a sad song.
And I'm the remix. Been through hell, still I rise like a phoenix.
I'm come to be a hoe, but bro, no homo.
Oh, I forgot bad the lyrics were because her, oh my god, the way that she sings these lyrics is so strange. This is such a fever dream performance because she's in like her Jessie from Toy Story outfit, talking like she got her heart broken on the Disney Channel, if that makes sense. Biflop was about the hypothetical situation where they got broken up with by like a bum and they're saying bye to the flop. She's talking about how she's making it new and the new lover is a sad song. And then she's the remix, which doesn't really, what does that mean? I guess it was just a rhyme to say Phoenix. And then ending it on time to stop to be a hoe. Great. Yeah, if you want to get out of a relationship and do that, that's great. But then, but bro, no homo to end on a, what? It just doesn't make any sense. Lyrics already rough. Hearing her perform it makes it even worse. And I'm only going in so hard on Kendall here because her verse from the finale is genuinely incredible. When I think of a really great Drag Race verse, Kendall Gender's verse from Queen of the North is one that is up there. That verse hits every mark that it needs to, while this one gives me a visceral reaction. So that's where it's going. Okay, this is a personal one. No one ever talks about this verse outside of, I think Drag Race Rejudged talked about it at some point saying that it was a great verse. It's Loosey's from the Granny Girl Group Challenge. I've talked about this one so much. Do not like this challenge. We all know that.
Older the berry, the sweeter the juice. All the younger men want a chance to let loose.
These other stink hoes trying to get real slick.
But if you're talking trash,
You're gonna get the stick.
The trade keeps coming, asking what's up, but they can't take when I fall and can't get up. All I need is my girls and butterscotch.
wanna know what time it is?
Bitch, check the watch.
Lyrics genuinely so good. Like, this, it should not be on here. The way that she does this character voice is great. I love the granny voice, and then she switches to her normal voice on You're Gonna Get the Stick and Bitch Check the Watch, and for some reason I jump out of my skin. I don't know why. This is irrational. To me, it's just such an odd choice that takes me out of the verse. Not like I was buying her being this granny character and then her switching out of it is like, oh no, don't, you're breaking character. It just comes off as corny to me in a way. I don't know, and I can justify putting it at the top here because these are great lyrics. Like, this should not be on here, like I'm saying, but it gives me a visceral reaction that I don't like. So irrationally, I'm putting it at the bottom, but just reading the lyrics now, I'm like, yeah, they're great. But oh, the way she switches, I don't like it. Monica Beverly Hillz from All Stars 8, Money, Fame, Success, Glamour. I think that's the order.
Sophisticated glam with a Benji twist. MBH is her name, fish, fish, fish.
From the ghettos of Chi-Town to the streets of LA.
Didn't come here to slay, I came here to slay.
From the ghetto of Chi-Town to the streets of LA, I didn't come here to slay, I came here to slay. I think we all know why this one makes this list. These first three lines, great. Like, yeah, this is exactly what a Drag Race verse is. And then it ends with, I didn't come here to slay, I came here to slay. I've asked about this on Twitter before, and I try to get it. I try. People say she didn't come here to slay, I came here to slay. But if you have to explain the lyric to this extent. Oh, I don't know. I buy the fantasy. I love her. It's just been 2 years and this line still drives me crazy. Is it 3 years at this point? Oh my God. There was definitely just a better way that she could put it outside of I didn't come here to slay, I came here to slay. It is a line that I do really enjoy saying to myself and other people though. In terms of the rest of the lyrics, I do like them. The last lyric though, it needs a debrief, so I gotta put it in here. Up next, we have Nymphia's verse on Power. Ooh, it's getting windy.
Aspire to community.
Nymphia for equality. Do not
Ban my beauty.
You better get that power within your flower.
Have a seat at the table when you vote yellow.
I of course will acknowledge that some of the queens are ESL speakers and writing in English, it's not easy for them, and I think that was the case here with Nymphia, who said in the episode that she is not really great at writing lyrics, especially when Megami helped her with her last verse, and that's one of the best verses. So partially the reason that it ends up on this list is the whiplash of her giving such a good performance and verse in the last challenge, and then coming here without Megami, it was just harder for her to find the direction, I guess. It reminds me of the Pandora verse or the GotMick verse, where a lot of it is just dead space of pausing to kind of to fill up the time because the lyrics just weren't there. Nothing bad is said. She checks the boxes for the prompt. I just know that she is capable of doing better. Even without Megami, I think if there was a different prompt that she was given, she could write stronger lyrics. Here, it just seemed like she was a little, I guess there's writer's block that she got. I'm gonna put it in generic boots only because out of the prompt that was given, these are the lyrics that I would expect. I guess outside of like the last two, you better get that power within your flower, just for some internal rhyme, and then have a seat at the table when you vote yellow, because that's branding. Another really infamous verse by Scarlett Harlett. The Cockney Queen is in the house. Scarlett's quiet like a mouse. Okay. Hungry for more. Well, get this scrub. Oh wait, get this scrub. What? I think these lyrics are wrong. So these lyrics are wrong. It's okay. Let me start over. I'm going in raw. The campus queen you ever saw.
Hungry for more, we'll get this scrub. All you other girls get out my pub.
Fade into the background, can't relate. You think you're gonna beat me?
Nah, mate.
Lyrics again, I would say like the upper tier of Drag Race verses. The reason that it's on this list, if you don't know, the performance was tragic to say the least. I've shared little messages with Scarlett, so if she's watching this video, hi, great verse. I'm so sorry this happened to you and I have to bring it up again. Verse alone, nothing bad at all. The performance just, it definitely brings this one down only because that's what people remember. So like, I think they retroactively remember the verse as worse than it actually is because they couldn't really pay attention to it, partially because she was coming off of a win and was just feeling like really good, and then that happened and I'm like, oh no. It's one of the worst times that someone has forgotten lyrics, and we've seen that a lot in season 18 so far. Just the complete 180 from like really having fun on stage to the sheer panic once she forgot her words. It really showed on her face and I feel so bad. But when I like listen to it outside of the show and don't watch the performance, I enjoy the verse. So it could go in fast forward, please. If we're talking about like actual lyrics, it would go in actually okay. I'm gonna put it here only because it's hard for me to like separate the performance from the lyrics, even though the lyrics are good. There's no metrics to whatever I do. One of the newest verses for our list is Shannel's from All Stars 9. If you don't remember this verse, I don't blame you. Heard, be seen, so pound the pavement and unite it. What was asked out of them for this song was drag queens saving the world, like activism. What are you doing as a queen that's like remarkable, woohoo, and all that. I heard from somewhere that Shannel's verse was like 10 times as long as this, and they just kind of took that first part and they're like, yeah, okay, keep going, and just like, we'll tell you when to stop. The way that she speaks on this song, it's like she's reading off of like a really long speech. And of course, I don't blame her. She hasn't done this like era of Drag Race before. She was also screwed over in the placement because this was the second to last verse of the song after already seeing like Georges and Vanjie. So for this long of a song with this many verses, her coming at the end, I think it just kind of brought down the energy. Actual lyrics for what the song called for, they're great, they're fine. And I guess we could have gotten 10 times this if we really needed to. I just don't think anyone ever talks about this verse, and when they do, it's not good things, unfortunately. Great lyrics, but it's lyrics that I expected, so I'll put it in generic boots. And we're ending up in Canada with 3 verses from season 5 and one that transcends Drag Race.
Super
supernova, but the game's already over. From the town they call a city.
Tara's here to slay. Oh, she's gonna be winning. Gorgeous hair, teeny waist.
Serving you all the face. Hit the beat, strike your pose.
Tell the catwalk what it knows. Feel the skin, all this flesh. Bet you know that I'm the best.
Smash the speed, flew by jet. Must admit, I'm out of breath.
I really love Terra Nova. She seems like such a sweetheart. And she's taking this verse in stride because if you've never heard a Drag Race verse before, you'd probably think this is cute, this is fun. The issue is when you're this many seasons deep and like a super fan like me where I listen to these cast songs outside of the show, which is crazy to say. Unfortunately, this is one of the most generic that we have ever gotten from the show. And that's what a lot of people were criticizing her for. It doesn't mean that it's like a bad verse, honestly. Again, it's fine, but it's just funny how she hits all like the filler marks, I would say. She's gonna win. Gorgeous hair, teeny waist, serving face. She's the best. Like, it's not offensively bad, but you know, there's a tier for this, and I think she owns this tier. It's generic boots. I love you, Tara. I'm so sorry. And we finish with my favorite ones to talk about. We have Xana's verses from season 5 and Slaycation. Let's start with her verse from Go Off.
This is my body, wanna take a tour? Kiss me in Paris, mwah, bonjour, pain and pleasure at my leisure.
Don't fuck with me, I'm the OG. Pick up the phone, here's the sitch. I'm as pretty as I am rich.
You're the download to MP3, can't come for me, max capacity. Xana do, Xana don't.
Can't catch me, not my clout. If beauty is pain, I'm the prettiest.
Without a doubt.
This is the first verse that she did for the show, and it's funny because here, it's not a bad verse, but it shows the little things that come in her later verses that I don't think we realized was going to be such stylized Xana writing, is what we'll say. One of the big things being the way that she just switches the rhyme scheme whenever she wants. So we have AA, this is my body, want to take a tour, kiss me in Paris, moi bonjour. And then we have internal rhymes, pain and pleasure at my leisure, don't fuck with me, I'm the OG. And then we go back to AA, pick up the phone, here's the sitch, I'm as pretty as I am rich, you're the download to MP3, can't come for me, max capacity. And then we sort of have AB, but like not really. And I don't know if don't is supposed to rhyme with clout here, so it could be AABA. Xana do, Xana don't, can't catch me, not my clout. But like, you know, she doesn't deliver don't and clout anywhere similar. So we know that clout is supposed to rhyme with doubt at the end. I will give her that all of these lyrics are very unique and they do all stack up to the character that she gave. She's very confident. She's very like, I guess, sex forward, like Punisher type of thing. But putting them all together, it's just like a lot of thoughts that she just put down on the page. I do really like Xana do, Xana don't. Coming in a song with so many other queens doing verses, this one is, it's skated by and we didn't realize. It's not bad by any means. So I can't put it up here. I'll put it in Let's Pause and Debrief. I feel like it's better than some of these other verses, but it's not, I can't put it up in Actually Okay, and it's not generic. But then we get to, have you guys ever heard this verse? Xana's verse from Not might be rivaling these three as the worst from the show. And just ignore Lucy, that's for me.
We're not friends, you're a means to an end. No matter how many notes you send. Caught you trying to steal my men's?
I don't play pretends, girl, I got friends. You got major split ends. Fake number 1 in first place.
I can read phony all over your face. Blast off into outer space. Signed, sealed, delivered, and the case.
A, BeBe, BeBe. I don't know a lot about music. It's so interesting to even dissect this, having like the surface level knowledge of it. We're not friends, you're a means to an ends, so S and S there. No matter how many notes you sends, I feel like it should be because we have S's at the end of all the other ones. But if she just wants to do we're not friends, you're a means to an ends, and then do no matter how many notes you send, caught you trying to steal my men. But instead, it goes back to, caught you trying to steal my men's. I don't play pretends. Girl, I got friends. You've got major split ends. Which is also funny because it's, we're not friends. Girl, I've got friends. Ends. Again, I'm not a music pro here, and I feel like if I had to hop on a track, I would struggle a bit to find the beat until I would find it. Xana here, I think just the way that she wrote her lyrics, it was fighting against the beat, and it became one of the defining moments of Canada 5, unfortunately. People still talk about this verse and retweet it, and it still gets thousands of likes to this day. And thankfully, she laughs it off too. I'm glad that she thinks it's funny. At this point in the show, this is like an amalgamation of all of the tough tough parts of Drag Race verses, I'll say. So yeah, it gives me a visceral reaction. I don't know if it's worse than these three. And just when you think we're done, that we're not going to get another Xanaverse from the show after she was eliminated, we do, because she was on Slaycation. I haven't watched Slaycation. It's cute. Like, I'm glad they're producing it because it seems really easy and like fun for the girls to just kind of go on a vacation and just have fun together. At the end though, they produce the show where they write and record a verse, and it feels like a DreamWorks dance party in a sense. Like, after all being together and solving the conflict, they're gonna have a big dance party and it just ends in a song. And I truly don't think anyone remembers these songs. All of these other songs are on Genius, like a fan has put them in, but the song from Slaycation season 2 is somehow not on Genius. I don't know why. What? That's crazy. Slaycation season 2 happened after Canada 5 came out, so Xana having another verse, you would think, oh, maybe she learned from Canada 5 and it might get better.
Feast your eyes on me, I'm delicious, you see. Like a dangerous viper, my fangs up on her.
I got you in cuffs, lock and key. What's your safe word? Scream it for me.
It's cold outside, get between these sheets. If you don't have money, then hit it, sweet. Come suck on me like your favorite treat. I'm Xana, baby, villain of the street.
She starts out strong in the bad way, where she goes, feast your eyes on me, I'm delicious, you see. Like a dangerous viper, my fangs up on her. So already the rhyme is just done. But then it comes back with, I've got you in cuffs, lock and key. What's your safe word? Scream it for me. It's just all over the place. What I admire about this verse is that she's consistent with season 5. She's just a consistent lyricist in this sense. When it first came out, I'm like, Xana girl, no. But after all of this, I appreciate it even more because I'm like, yes, girl, you do that. I'm gonna put it in a visceral reaction. Honestly, hold on. So this is the end of the list. These verses are actually okay. This could also go up there for any normal person, but not for me. These are also fine, but like the lyrics don't really strike me as anything. We're getting a little strange here. I feel like this one could even go down, honestly. Here, I like these performers and or I want to get to like the good parts of the song. And then we get to, oh, that hits. What is going on? And then we have the queen herself. Love you, Xana. I'm obsessed. Like, I need more songs from her. That's about it for today. Thank you so much for tuning into this very unserious video. I hope none of the queens would take offense to this, because honestly, these moments are more notable and memorable than a lot of other verses on the show. Even if people don't remember them for all the right reasons, it's still a reason to remember these queens, and it's such enjoyment, even if it is like a guilty pleasure, ironic enjoyment. So I'm very happy that they gave us these verses. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to my tier 2 patrons. And thank you to my tier 3 patrons who are never friends with a means to an ends. Frankie, Shira, and Steely. I'll see you soon with another video.